Hello and welcome to the setup tutorial for the AI framework. So what you're going to need to start is either Astral UV or Python 3.13.3, and as an optional requirement just to make things easier, Visual Studio Code. All these links will be in the description of the video. So to start, you're going to want to go over to the GitHub. Should be on screen and in the description. You're going to hit code right here and hit download the zip. Once that downloads, once it finishes, just open it up. You're gonna minimize your browser or do whatever. You're gonna take the folder that's in the zip and just put it on your desktop in a folder. It doesn't matter where it is. It just has to be out of the zip. So just place it wherever. Once that's done, you can close the zip. Open up the file. Go up here to the top of your file explorer, copy the link, well the path, and then open up Visual Studio Code, hit File, Open Folder, and then you're going to want to go right here, and you're going to paste it, and then hit Enter, and then select Folder. Once it opens up, you should have all the files for the framework. First, you're going to start by going to Terminal, and then New Terminal. Yours will open up with a PowerShell by default, so you're going to want to hit right here and hit Command Prompt. Yours will be PowerShell, but hit Command Prompt, and then you should have Command Prompt. Since I use UV, I'm going to do UV venv-f Python 3.13.3. All of these commands will also be in the description and on screen as I'm typing them. So once that's done, once you run that, you should have this activate with. You're going to want to copy this by selecting it, Control-C, and then hit right click. That should paste it. Then you're going to want to hit enter. You should have this little like bracketed name behind your path. That means the virtual environment's active. So then you're going to want to do uv pip install -r requirements.txt, and you're going to want to run that. This shouldn't take long, but it depends on your internet speed and the speed of your computer. So I'd say give it like 2 minutes to 5 minutes on a normal computer. I already have all the packages cached, so it's already done for me. So once that finishes installing, you can pause the video until yours is done. But once that's done, we should get back to here. And you're going to want to run, well, you're not going to run anything yet. But if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, you can open up the requirements.txt and copy this one, which will install the CUDA compatible versions of PyTorch and torchaudio and stuff, which will enable GPU acceleration for the vision model, which allows the AI to follow people. It's not required, but it makes it faster, and especially if you have a slower CPU and no NVIDIA GPU. On that topic, if you do have a slower CPU or running this on a lower end device, I'd recommend disabling the following model, which is in the vision folder, and config.yml. Just switch enabled to false like this, and then save the file with Control-S or File, Save. Once that's done, you can go into your config.yml, which is right here. Everything should be already configured to their base settings, but you will need a Gemini API key in this API configuration part. You're going to want to copy this URL that's right here, and you're going to want to open it up in your browser. I already have it open here, so I'm not going to paste it again, but yours should look something like this. You should have no API keys and no projects. But you're going to want to hit create API key, and then select a project. You probably won't have any. So for demonstration, we're going to create project, and you're going to name it whatever, and then hit create project. It should take a second. Once that's done, you should be able to name your key. And just name it whatever you want, doesn't matter. Let it create that. And you should have this API key here. You want to go to the copy button and hit copy API key. Then bring it back to your Visual Studio Code in the API Key section. Select the URL, delete it, and then paste your API key here. And make sure to save the file. Once that's done, everything else should be configured to its base settings. All the other configurable stuff is documented on the GitHub. However, you can change the name of like what shows up in the chat box for the AI's little title by changing this title config from like change me at example.com to like the name of your AI and then whatever your website or branding for it is. This doesn't have to be here, it can just be the name of the AI. Once you do that, however, we do need to scroll back up here, if I remember where it is, yeah. So, system instruction. This is what will define your AI's personality. So, prompt here will be loaded from this prompts.json file. I actually messed this up. This should be named default. Let me change that real quick. Well, you're going to want to name this default here. I'll probably fix this before this video is uploaded so you won't have to do this. But this here should be default, and in your prompts.json file, this is where you'll define the personality of your AI. Like, where it says prompt, you can do, like, you are a person from New York, speak like a, I guess, New Yorker. It's auto-filled from Copilot. But once you do that, you're going to make this pretty detailed for your actual AI, like backstory, who it knows, who its owner is, and, you know, whatnot. Once you do that, save your file. And then after that, you should be pretty much ready to run your AI. You can do, not that command, you're going to want to do Python supervisor.py. Then once that works, you should give it a few seconds to start up. It will say MongoDB URI is not configured, because that is another video where I'll show how to set that up. But once that does that, your AI should be started up. You should see transcriptions of what people say.
You wanted to know if I could see something? What's up? What you need?
And as you can hear, the AI works flawlessly after that.
My bad, I didn't hear you. What did you ask?
So after we do that, I'm just going to stop the AI. How you stop the AI is by opening your terminal and hitting Control and C at the same time. That will stop the AI. So for audio setup, well, the AI has to be running for it to show up in Windows. But you're going to want to open the Windows volume mixer. And as you'll be running this on another device, I highly recommend doing so and not running it on your device where you will be playing, because it's more difficult as you can't hear both. But on the GitHub,
Sounds like you're talking about a...
the AI is gonna not shut up. Let me just do that. So on the GitHub, you'll need VB cable and VAC cable. You'll need both of these. If you don't already have these, that is. You just download this one right here, and this one, you want to scroll down and download VAC 4.70 Lite. Once you have those installed, you should have virtual audio cables. So for Python output device, you want to set on cable input, and the input device on... Looks like I don't have line installed, but let me get back to you. Let me install that, and then we'll get back to that. Okay, so apparently I do have it installed, but it's just not showing up for whatever reason. So what you're going to want to use is, you should see, well, your cable, one of them should come with two. So if you don't have line 1, and if you install just cable, just use hi-fi cable output for input, and output is cable input. Your AI should be, make sure it's not muted. And then you're going to want to have VRChat running on your device of choice. So once you set the audio devices in Python in your Windows volume mixer, make sure to go back to your terminal, stop the AI, and then start it again so it actually recognizes those changes. Once VRChat boots up here, I'll show you how to set up the VRChat side of the audio. Okay, so now that VRChat is up and running here, what you're going to want to do now is go back to your settings here. Let me turn off this music in game. So you're going to want to go back to your Windows volume mixer settings and set VRChat's output to hi-fi cable input and the input to cable output. Or no, you want to leave input on default and output to hi-fi cable input. And then you're going to want to start your AI back up. Let that start back up there. So, once that's done, Python should be on cable input. Well, output is cable input, and input is a hi-fi cable output, and VRChat's output device should be on hi-fi cable input. Then you're going to go in VRChat and set the microphone to cable output, which should be this one. And then once you do that, when someone speaks to your AI in-game, make sure you also go to audio on that VRChat account where your AI is running. Turn off everything except for voices and leave this on 100 for voices. Make sure to turn off noise suppression, and mic activation threshold should be on 0%. And once that's done, your AI should be good to go. And if you turn on OSC, it should pop up the chat box above the AI's head. And then once all that's done, your AI should be good to go. Thanks for watching the tutorial, and goodbye.